morning, second graders. It's me, Lego Man. Welcome to technology class. I'm so excited to be here. What do I want to tell you guys? Well, a lot of exciting things going on. We're building an entire new Lego community. It's going to have Lego amusement, a Lego hotel. Do you know where it is? It's Legoland. Yeah, I hope it's going to open soon because they said there's going to be a Legoland in New York State. And that means that we could all go on a field trip to Legoland, maybe over the summer. And maybe we could take a Lego bus and we could all go to Legoland and it would be so much fun. And we could have so much fun together. What do you guys think? Anybody? Yeah, I'm going. I'm definitely going.
All right, Lego Man. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to technology class. And Lego Man's being silly, but I did hear that they are opening up a Legoland in New York State. And that's pretty cool because that means that we could all go. Well, I mean, maybe you have to ask your family, but that would be a lot of fun, right? I think it's going to open over the summer. So hopefully things will be better by then. And then maybe your family can take you. How much fun would that be? Okay, so welcome to technology class. And let's see, I just want to quickly talk about typing. So last week you were supposed to get up to lesson 145. And so we're up to 146. So we are really moving along. And we learned about the shift key, right? How to make a capital letter, an uppercase letter. And you hold the shift key with one finger and then you press the letter and then it makes it capital. So we're kind of continuing with that this week. So you'll be doing lessons 146 to 159. So it'll be good practice. So you guys can have fun with that. It's a lot of the letters S and L, and the letter A again, S and L, G and H, T and Y, and that's about it. So do your typing and then have fun with it. Okay, so this week we're continuing with our internet safety lessons, and we are learning about who is in your online community. So whenever we go online, right, we use the internet, there's a whole world in the internet, right? Just like when you look around, if I were to ask who is in your school community, you would look around in your classroom and you could probably name all of your classmates, right? And they're part of your community. The second grade community is your classroom community. And then outside of that, we have the larger school community with all of the grades, right? And then outside of that, there's a whole world. And so just within our school, we have different communities. And so when you go online, it's pretty similar because you have yourself, right? You might go online alone. You have your friends and family. You might do something online with them. And you also have the larger community, which are strangers, people that you don't really know. And that's what we've been learning about, right? Like how to stay safe with those people to make sure that we're not talking to strangers, we're not giving any private information, right? And so that's kind of like the larger ring of the whole world, the larger community. And so we're really focusing a lot on ourselves, the little circle, and then the middle circle is our friends and our family, because that's probably the most like common for second graders, right? Is you're usually doing something alone by yourself or with your friends and family, right? I sure hope you're not doing anything with strangers online because that wouldn't be safe, right?
Unless they're Legos, because Lego people are always awesome and friendly. So you know that Legos are good.
Yeah, but still, if it's not Lego Man and you don't know them, then you don't talk to them, right? Because we only know Lego Man. He's the only Lego in our school right now.
Well, I sure hope we get more of Legos because Legos always make the world more fun and they make school more fun.
Yeah, I know, but still, we need to be able to be safe, right? So we're going to be taking a look, how are we all part of an online community? So we'll be looking at that today. So what is the internet? How would you describe the internet to a younger sibling, cousin, friend? So I know that you guys can't really answer me, but I would imagine that some of you might say, "Ooh, the internet is when I go play my game," or "The internet is when I watch videos," right?
Or the internet is this invisible world that I can't see, but I get to have fun on it.
And there's so many different ways to explain the internet, right? If you remember back in the first lesson that we did about internet safety, we learned about what is the internet, right? And we learned that the internet is something that connects us to other people. And yeah, we can't really see the internet. We use it every day and we see people, right? Like if you're on the Zoom class or I'm on the video now, but we can't really see the internet, right? Because we know that it does connect us. So it's kind of like this world that we go into and we get to do all of these things on it, but it's not really a physical world. So you can't just get in your car and say, I'm going to the internet. Or how many of you guys have seen that movie, Ralph Breaks the Internet? Oh, me, I saw it. And remember when Ralph and Penelope, they get on the little ship and they go and they zoom and they get to the internet because they need to find the little piece for Penelope's game, right? And so that's not what it's like. We can't really get in a little spaceship and go to the internet. It doesn't work like that. But we do use the internet every day and we do go on the internet through our devices, right? Whether it's a laptop, a desktop, an iPhone, an iPad, some other kind of tablet. We use our devices to go on the internet, right? So the internet is a worldwide network that connects people using computers, phones, or other devices. And so you see all these blue arrows. These are like the invisible connections between all of the devices, right? And so we can't see the connections, they're invisible, but we can use it because we get connected and we can see people through our devices, but we just don't really see the internet. So hopefully it's starting to make sense that it really is this other world. And that's why we're called digital citizens, because when we go and we use the internet, we go into that invisible world and we use it as a real person, we're using it, but we really are digital people, we're digital citizens. And so that's definitely something that hopefully as you guys get older, it'll kind of make more sense because you'll study more in depth about what the internet is. But we just kind of talk about just a very basic thing. So here's our world, right there it is.
Our beautiful world that God created for us.
Yes. And our world, when you think about it, so I don't know if you guys have seen any old stories or movies or books, right? Before there was the internet, and even before there were airplanes, or before there were telephones, or before there were cars, our world was very, very separated. It took a very, very long time to go and see someone. Say you were in the United States of America and you wanted to go and visit your family in a different state. You would have to get into your horse and buggy, and it might take you weeks or months to get to someone. Or maybe you would have to send them a telegraph, and you would have to write to them. And guess what? It wasn't instant. It would take a long time to be able to share something with somebody. And our world felt very separated. But now we're in the year 2021. We can get on a plane and fly to see somebody and be there in a few hours. We can call them on the telephone. We can type in the internet and send them an email. We can go on our phone and have a WhatsApp video chat with them, right? And so we're so much more connected in our world. Our world is very connected now because of the internet. We can connect in ways that people, if you have great grandparents still alive, even grandparents, you can ask them and say, what was it like when you were my age? Did you have the internet? And they'll be, we didn't have the internet. We didn't use the things that you guys use. And this is very new to them. And so for you guys, you're growing up with that. But guess it wasn't always like that. So it's always nice to talk to a grandparent or a great grandparent because they have so many amazing stories of what the world was like when they were a kid. And it was so different from how it is for you guys. And it's good for you to see the change and see how things have changed, and for you to understand that it hasn't always been like this, right? This is all you know because that's all you were born into. But the world has changed a lot. And I can only imagine when by the time you guys are adults or your grandparents and you have little grandkids running around, what is the world going to be like? Are we just going to have robots everywhere? And like, I don't even know. We'll never know, but I know it's going to be different. It's going to be very different. So here's what we were talking about. We were talking about these 3 rings that we have. So we have ourself, right? So when you go on the internet, you are responsible to yourself to keep yourself safe, to make sure you're only going to websites that are for your age, keeping your private information private, right? So that's something that is very important. We have our community. So that's like our friends and family, your classmates, right? And we want to keep them safe as well. And we also want to make sure that we're being kind to each other. Maybe you're playing a game together, doing something on the internet, and you want to use kind words, right? And then we have our greater world. So a group of people who share a common neighborhood or background or interest, that's what a community is, right? That's what a community is. And we are all part of so many different communities. Like at the school, we're in the school community. In your neighborhood, wherever you live and you have your neighbors, you're part of that community. If you go to a church, you're part of that community. And there's so many different communities. And the same thing online. Say you play a game with some friends, you're part of that online game community. Or maybe you watch videos or something, you're joining that community. So there's just a lot of different communities out there. So we're going to think about the people in our community. Who are they? Who do you spend most of your time with online? Who do you spend your time with, Lego Man?
Well, I like to play and watch Lego videos, and I like to play games and things online. And so a lot of the times my community is other Lego people that we like to watch Lego videos. Also, my friends at school like Puppy and Snail and Mr. Fuzzywugs. And sometimes we like to do things together. We send messages and things. So I have a lot of different communities.
Yeah, right, you do. So here's our rings. And I want to show you guys this quick little video about all of our different rings. So hang on one second. Okay, so let's watch this.
Imagine if you threw an empty plastic bottle on your bedroom floor. Now, what if it's a bunch of bottles and they spill into the street and eventually end up in the ocean? Your action would have a ripple effect. It would affect you, your community, and even the world. And just like what we do in person, what we do online has a huge impact. What we say online, what we share online, and what we create online doesn't just affect our lives, but the lives of our families, friends, community, and people all around the world. That's why it's so important to think before we act. Use the rings of responsibility as your guide. Always be responsible to yourself, to your community, and to your world.
Okay, so we were able to see all of the 3 rings of responsibility, right? And that's what we've been learning about, how to stay safe, how to be a good digital citizen. And that's a big word, responsibility. But really what it's talking about is learning how to make good choices, right? And knowing what good choices are. So that way, when you have to make a choice, you think, well, I know that's a good choice, and that's not really, that's a bad choice, right? And then you're able to choose the one that is going to be best for everybody, for yourself, for the community, and for the larger world, right? And just like how they showed in the video, like with littering, right? When you throw a bottle out your window and you litter in your community, and then it ends up littering our planet, right? It's the same thing with the internet. If you are, say, for example, you're really mean, the things that you type, and then it spreads to your friends, and then it spreads to other kids, and it starts making the internet this mean place that nobody wants to go on, because every time they go on, they feel really bad. Or it could be the other way. You could be the one that's always so kind and loving, and then you could spread that to the world, right? And so you really want to stop and think that when you use the internet, it's not just about you, it's about your community too and the world. And that's part of being a good digital citizen. Let me move to the next slide. So we were going to also talk about the people in the world. So who are they? Some examples of people in the world. So it could be like, for example, the people who watch the YouTube videos when somebody posts it, the people who write comments on them, the people who create different things like games and things and put them on the internet for people to use, the people who play the games. There's so many people involved that are part of the community of the internet, right? And the world that uses it. So we're going to actually be doing an activity, and I'll show you guys on the sheet. You're going to write down 3 people in your community and 2 people in your world and describe how you could connect with them online. So I want to actually open up the sheet so I could show it to you guys. So everybody will get one of these. And so what you'll do is you'll think about, so I'll have Lego Man give, well, he already did give examples, but think about 3 people in your community and 2 people in the world and write them down. And then write down, how do we connect online? So for example, do you want to share an example?
Yeah, like in my community, I have one of my Lego friends, so I could write them down. And then I could say that, how do I connect? I connect by sending them messages. And sometimes we do video chats together. And we both build Legos while we're video chatting.
Yeah, so that would be a great example. What about people in your world? What do you think? People in your world, and how do you connect with them online?
Well, there's people in the world that I don't really even know. Like when I watch like a YouTube Lego channel, I connect by just watching it, and maybe sometimes I might like it. I might put a little like sign or a heart to show that I really like the video. And so I'm not really connecting with them, like, because I don't really know them, but I am connecting by liking and watching their video.
Yeah, that's a good point. So you guys are going to think today, how do you connect with people in your community and people in the world, right? And then you're going to draw a picture explaining the difference between your community and the world. So remember, your community is the people that you know, your friends, your family, and the world is the greater world. So you may not know the people. So when you were watching a YouTube video, you're connecting with the world, those people, but you don't really know them, right? Or when you're using something on the internet, and it's not really, you're not like talking to them or anything. Maybe you're just reading something or playing a game that somebody made. You are connecting to the world, but this doesn't mean that you actually know them. They may not be in your community, right? So your community is the people that you know, your friends, your family. So video chatting with grandma, that would be connecting in your community, right? Because they're your family. So you could think of some ideas of what you want to include in there, and then you can draw a picture. Okay, so that's what you're going to work on. And so this will be good because it'll get you to think about well, who is your community online, right? Who are the people that you know that you actually play a game with or watch something with or video chat with? And then in the world, maybe you could share like your favorite YouTuber that you watch. They're in the world, you don't really know them, but they're part of the online world that you go into. Or maybe you could share like your favorite game that you play. And even though you don't know the people who made it, but you still play it and it's part of your online world. So that's what we're looking for, to get you guys to see that your community is the people that you know and the world people that you don't really know. You still have to follow the same rules to stay safe wherever you are, whether you're doing it by yourself, with your community, or with the world. You still want to keep yourself safe and follow those same rules to stay safe, because that's really what we're trying to teach you guys here, right?
And whenever you watch Lego videos, you should always like them because Legos are the best toys ever. Don't ever forget that, right, guys?
Okay, Lego man. He always wants to talk about Lego, 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 Legos. So I will print this out. I'll also email it out so you can do it however you want. And it'll be due next week. And then don't forget about your typing. So make sure that you do your typing. And then we will see you guys next time, all right? Bye, guys. We miss you. Bye.